Since its development in the 1960s, the silicon integrated circuit has revolutionized the computer industry. This was further magnified by the 1990s integration of a global network, the Internet. With these revolutions, our dependence on information has increased, and it stands to reason that the security practices we apply would also need to adapt. It's no longer simply a case of protecting an individual computer, but a cyber resilience strategy that's required. Before networks were significant, computer security was largely based on a physical boundary around the computer, limiting users' access to resources and privileges to the minimum required to complete the task. The advent of corporate networks still largely relied on a physical boundary, with a focus on the hardware, software, and networking components. This method used the assumption that good technical controls could deliver the necessary level of security. The 1980s brought personal computing to many, and for the first time, devices weren't under tight corporate controls. As users demanded more flexibility and freedom to innovate, they became a significant source of insecurity. The Internet further allowed organizations to reinvent their business practices. Supply chains became more and more complex and integrated with an organization's own infrastructure. And while this increased efficiencies, it also brought with it a greater level of cyber threat. Although IT did a good job of managing security of technology components, it didn't provide sufficient security coverage for non-IT business processes. At this point, computer and IT security became information security, reflecting the value of information rather than the technology itself. Information security became everyone's responsibility, not just those in the IT department. Words like cyberspace and cybersecurity have become commonplace over the past decade, reflecting the impact the digital age has had on all our lives. So, what's cyber resilience? Cyber resilience is a complete, collaborative approach driven by the board but involving everyone in the organization, including suppliers, partners, and customers. Cyber resilience seeks to balance the cyber risks faced by organizations against the opportunity and competitive advantages they could gain, allowing them to confidently deliver its business strategy. A good cyber resilience strategy builds trust and provides significant benefits to an organization beyond mitigation of threats and reduction in exposure to risk. The purpose of cyber resilience is to ensure an organization can confidently continue to deliver its business strategy and desired outcome. Cyber resilience measures must therefore be aligned to those outcomes.